Live from KSAT 12, the News at Noon starts right now.
Today marking 2 years since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, sparking both protests and celebrations around the country. And abortion limits on bans on many state legislatures, including Texas.
This morning, San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg used the anniversary of the decision to join with Planned Parenthood officials to show how the city is supporting reproductive health choices.
Just this last Wednesday, Metro Health announced it will soon open applications for $500,000 Reproductive Justice Fund awards. This initiative is a significant step forward in supporting those affected by the state's restrictive policies. It aims to provide financial resources to organizations and individuals working to promote reproductive health, rights, and justice within our community. The city's Reproductive Justice Fund represents a vital investment in the well-being of all of our residents and a strong statement that San Antonio values and respects the reproductive autonomy of its people.
That Reproductive Justice Fund has proven to be quite controversial. In fact, as you just saw during today's press conference, protesters held up signs. They told our cameras that they were there because they are against abortion. And one of the things that the city's Reproductive Justice Fund would do is give money to women seeking legal abortions outside of Texas.
Now, City Council has not decided exactly how that money is going to be used. Some other issues the fund could address include contraception, home pregnancy tests, doula training scholarships, and even tackling food insecurity.
Taking a look outside with the live cam. Nice big fat cloud right over the city.
Yep,
I see that huge shadow.
It's nice that they're passing by and giving us a little bit of shade out there. Wish that some of them were growing a little bit taller and were able to provide us with some rain here in San Antonio. It is going to be another hot one out there this afternoon. Let's get you a look at current conditions if you're fixing to step outside for any lunchtime plans. Upper 80s here in San Antonio, stretching over to New Braunfels. It's 86 in Bernie, 84 in Kerrville. But you notice on the far right-hand side of your screen, we still are dealing with the humidity, which means feels like temperatures have already managed to climb into the 90s. And we will top off in the mid-90s later on this afternoon. A forecast high around 96. We'll keep a 10% chance in the forecast to potentially find a stray shower by the time all is said and done. Unfortunately, more of us than not are going to miss out. High pressure is in control, and it's going to stay in control of our weather pattern over the next several days, which means highs consistently will reach for the mid-90s each afternoon, feeling like the triple digits because of the humidity, and still just a straight isolated shower possible all the way through the upcoming weekend. We'll get you a full look at that forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Mia. We are now just 4 days away from the first debate between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Both candidates are preparing in two completely different ways. President Biden and his team spent the weekend at Camp David with former Chief of Staff Ron Klain, heading up debate prep. Former President Trump spent his weekend on the campaign trail. Thursday's debate will be a lot different from the last time the two met. Back in 2020, the debate will be moderated and shown by CNN. There will not be an audience, and microphones will only be turned on for the candidates when it's their turn to speak. Both candidates will meet again for another debate on September 10th, and you'll be able to see that one live right here on KSAT 12. KSAT is your home for election coverage now through election season. Scan that QR code right there on your screen. It'll take you to our Vote 2024 page where you can find everything you need to know about local and national elections.
Happening today, some tough decisions for the San Antonio Independent School District. Today is when the board members will vote on the budget for the next school year. In a statement, SAISD said, quote, decreasing enrollment and dwindling state funds are two of the reasons the district is having difficult conversations about its budget, unquote. This budget cycle comes after SAISD decided last fall to close 15 of its schools next year.
Still coming up, we're just a couple of days away from more Spurs history. We'll explain on the way.
Car dealerships across North America still facing major disruptions because of a cyber attack, and that includes here in San Antonio. CDK Global, a company that provides software for thousands of auto dealers in the U.S. and Canada, hit by back-to-back cyber attacks last week. We spoke to April and Sarah about how that company is being impacted here in the Alamo City.
We're actually able to get some of the information from little bits of different software. So we're doing some of that. We're doing some handwriting.
Now, Ansira says it's having a big impact on their employees as well as their customers.
I saw a story on the same story, but another dealership like out of state. And they were talking about how they handwriting receipts and handwriting down the numbers and trying to figure all this out. It's like, okay, here we go. I think we're in a rut. Am I right?
A rut?
A rut. We're in a rut. Same thing every day, day in, day out now.
It's going to be pretty copy and paste.
That's a country word.
That's a country word,
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yeah, a little bit of a different weather pattern this week compared to what we saw last week. Not as great when it comes to rain chances, unfortunately, and we still could use it. Take a look at the aquifer for today, down over half of a foot this Monday at 633.5. Here's some good news in the pollen count. Molds were high yesterday. They're down into the moderate category at 730. Grass also makes an appearance, but is low. Yes, we're going to talk about that rut of a forecast coming up after the break.
We're all back, and some of us are only going to be back for about a week.
Including Mike.
So we know the questions of the day are really going to be good now.
Yes, we can ask some really bad things.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, so what is something that you've always wanted to do? Maybe it's at the station or just in general.
Go to the moon.
Okay. That's a
love to
big,
go to the
big
moon.
request.
You would?
Yeah, walk on the moon.
I
Are you
would.
kidding me?
There's no air there.
Well, there's air inside the little capsule thing. I watched
Until
Apollo
it
13
breaks.
the other night, and so I would love to walk on the moon.
I think that'd be great. I've always wanted to do that. I've always said if I had the opportunity, I'd go. My wife's like, no, you wouldn't go up in a rocket ship. I would. Yeah, in a heartbeat.
She wouldn't let you.
Yeah. What would you do, Ursula? The one thing you've always wanted to do.
The one thing I've always wanted to do, and I'm now going to get an opportunity to do it, I'm going to go to my family's homeland in Sicily.
Oh, wow.
And we actually have an island named after our family. I mean,
Really?
I don't know what came first. I'm pretty sure the island was already there. But
Is it Ursula Island?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's La Perry Island.
Oh, really?
In Sicily.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Got its own
Well,
volcanic system and everything.
make sure you send, back souvenirs and all that good food there too. Speaking of good food, I just
here
want
we
to
go.
show you. When was the last time you all were at La Frite? Yes, they are on the show today. Some of their
Yum.
beautiful duck breast on there. Yes, indeed.
Save me some.
Mike, you didn't answer the question.
Well, what would I always want to? Well, there was one thing that I've always wanted to do, and I did it.
Okay.
And we're going to do the whole story on that coming up on Friday. We'll show you a little tease coming up there, though. So I'll put it this way. I now have one more takeoff than landings in an airplane.
That's a bucket list thing right there.
Yeah. Another
Okay.
cuckoo thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you jump out of a perfectly good plane? But I don't want to give anything away.
I didn't say that. So anyway, we'll see you in about 45 minutes.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Have
Mia,
fun.
how about you?
Mia?
What's
Traveling route too.
Yeah?
I would like to go travel some more countries.
that's safer than things like
that other thing.
Then going to the moon.
I'll go to the
bottom of
moon
the
and wave
sea.
at y'all as you travel the world. I say, oh, there
Hey,
they
also
are.
bring back some souvenirs. Bring back some moon rocks or
There you
something,
go.
and some good stories.
Do that.
Okay.
Could be fun.
If I really had my choice, I would go to the moon and get in one of those lunar cars and drive around the moon.
Oh.
That would be fun.
Do we want to be in a place other than San Antonio this week due to the weather?
Probably a cooler place, if I had to guess. Taking a vacation, maybe that's something that you've always wanted to do, go explore a new place. Because yes, for a lot of folks that are probably headed down to San Antonio, it is gonna be hot and humid, which is what you would typically expect for this time of year. That more regularly scheduled weather summer programming is what we're gonna be looking at here over the next several days. Temperatures right now are in the upper 80s and low 90s in and around the San Antonio area. It's 90 already in Converse, 90 at Stinson on the south side, same over in New New Braunfels as well as Seguin. Partly cloudy skies is what we've seen already this morning and into the early afternoon. That's going to stick with us as well over the next several hours, topping off in the mid-90s here in San Antonio, feeling a few degrees hotter because of the humidity in place. If you're stepping out for any evening plans, we'll gradually see those thermometers fall into the 80s with clearing skies later on tonight, especially after the sun goes down. Here's a look at your forecast high temperatures across the region. 94 in Canyon Lake. It'll be 97 in Rio Medina as well as Hondo, 94 in Kerrville and 95 in Bandera. Remember, we still do have the humidity that we're working with. You felt it when you stepped out the door this morning. Because of that, especially along and east of the I-35 corridor and even out west down Highway 90, feels like temperatures by about 4 to 5 o'clock this afternoon likely climbing into that 100 to 105 degree range. And the UV index is also going to be elevated. So it's going to be another day to just be careful out there and take breaks from this heat. And of course, if you are planning on being out and about for extended periods of time, make sure you take the sunscreen as well. Here's the catalyst behind all of this heat that we're still going to be dealing with throughout the upcoming week. High pressure that is just anchored over the state of Texas. And unfortunately, it's also deflecting a lot of the rain-making energy around the center of that system. You can see right now a couple showers and storms moving across the northern tier of the lower 48. By the way, parts of the upper Midwest near the Great Lakes region now in a 3 out of 5 risk to find some severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon and evening. Nothing like that expected across the state of Texas, and especially here in San Antonio. We're just going to keep a 10% potential for a few isolated showers to pop up, especially across the coastal plains later on this afternoon. You can notice or see here over the next several days that high pressure system, it's not really going anywhere. That's going to continue to be the main feature here of our weather pattern. So it gives us high temperatures like this, consistent mid-90s each and every afternoon with those partly cloudy skies. For context, our average high for this time of year is 93. So we're going to be sitting a few degrees hotter than that into the afternoons. We mentioned that chance to find a few stray showers here and there. Check this out. Right now, Lavaca County, even DeWitt County, and of course, the farther you get closer to the Gulf Coast, seeing a few splash and dash showers, generally working farther out to the north as we advance this on in time through the afternoon. Again, our southeastern counties, that's going to be the better bet and the best place to find a few of those showers before the day is done. A 10 to 20% potential will continue throughout the remainder of the week and even into the upcoming weekend. So yes, this is typically what you would expect here in South Central Texas for the last full week of June. It also is hurricane season coming up the next half hour. We're going to get you a look at the tropics. Is there anything out there to update you on? We'll get you that information a little bit later on, guys.
Thank you, Mia.
Team USA with a big night on the pitch and one-on-one with Elizabeth Leachman after her run for a spot on the Olympic team. Coming up. If you are a dyed-to-the-wool Spurs fan, you probably remember where you were when the Spurs drafted Victor Wembanyama. It was a year ago this Saturday that happened. Now we're just a couple of days away from finding out who will be suiting up this season to play alongside Wemby for the 2024-25 season. And you can find out live right here on KSAT 12. As of now, the Spurs still have the 4th and 8th pick in the first round. We're talking about the NBA draft. The first round is Wednesday night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and it is live here on KSAT 12. The second round is going to be Thursday from the ESPN Seaport District Studios in Manhattan. We've got live reports starting on Tuesday, so make sure to join us live. Larry Ramirez will be in Brooklyn for the big draft coming up. Hey, top-notch soccer, Copa America, USA taking on Bolivia at the AT&T Stadium. It's only the 3rd minute, and Christian Pulisic nails it into the top right corner. USA goes up 1-0 very quickly right before half. Florian Belungen finds the bottom right corner of the goal. 2-0 USA. They go on to win it 2-0. USA will face Panama on Thursday at 5 o'clock at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Mexico played at NRG Stadium in Houston against Jamaica. Gerardo Arteaga scored in the 69 minutes to give Mexico the lead, an eventual win, 1-0. But Mexico's captain Edison Alvarez is undergoing tests to see if he lost for the tournament because he went down early in the match and needed help off the pitch. Mexico will next face Venezuela. That's coming up Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Bernie champion long-distance runner Elizabeth Leachman was the only high schooler who ran in the 5,000 meters at the U.S. track and field trials on Friday. The 16-year-old finished 26th overall in the 2 heats, but did not qualify for the final. She made a lot of great impressions, though. Our Mary Ronger was able to catch up with her yesterday afternoon.
Just learned a lot about different racing styles. That was definitely more of a strategic race than a fast race. I think our first mile was like a whole minute slower than the last mile. And so I think that I just came away with a lot of lessons about kind of learning to race flexibly and strategically. And yeah, not all races are going to look the same way.
You can see the complete interview on the sports page of KSAT.com.
Did you watch it?
Speaking of remarkable, the Aggies and Volunteers will play a game tonight for the College World Series title. If the Aggies can pull it off, it'll be their first national championship in baseball. Thank you. They jumped out to a lead in the bottom of the first, but then their pitchers got tagged for two two-run homers. Vols won it 4-1, so game 3 tonight at 6 o'clock. There you go.
Okay. Got to make sure Mia's mic is up when we're doing that.
Let her have a. Well, Justin's not here, so.
Yeah, I got to give it to an Aggie.
How many? We got like 3 weather people that all are Aggies? That's a lot of whoop.
Okay, new today at 5. It's painful to look at. It's even worse to feel. You know what I'm talking about. The sunburn. The right treatment from the beginning can make all the difference in the world when it comes to feeling better sooner. We're going to show you the best ways to treat ooh, that hurts. Sunburn. It's today after Entertainment Tonight. The expansion of a congested road in Converse is putting pressure on a no-kill animal shelter. It's blocking the adoptions for dozens of animals, and when it rains, it's putting their care at risk. Danielle Ibarra with how the slow construction on Rocket Lane in front of Judson High School is flooding the shelter with thousands of dollars of renovations and more.
Each one of these dogs is waiting for their forever home. Until that happens, Christian Collazo says the Converse Animal Shelter will take care of them. But what's going on outside the entrance has made that hard.
I think it's been a hassle.
Since November, the shelter has raised concerns about the consequences of a city construction project. That's when we spoke to then Converse Assistant City Manager Howard Kuntz, who expected the project to be finished by late spring.
Never been a part of a capital project like this in my nearly 20 years of working in local government.
But 8 months later, the headache continues. A quick burst of rain last week dredged up a new issue.
So when it did rain, where all did the water go?
I believe as far as sort of like right here. Like it didn't go much further than this.
Inches of water pooled at the entrance. Employees say they had to wade through it to help the animals. Drains near the entrance are blocked with hay.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't think that's something we should have to deal with when the expansion of the road doesn't benefit us. It's for the school and the traffic.
Flooding isn't the only issue the shelter says is being caused by this construction. They say they've lost donations and adoptions have dropped down. They also say they're having to raise money for a new entrance.
But even if we move the entrance, the flooding is still going to be an issue with the dogs that we have to put up in the front runs.
Collazo says the shelter wants to know what they'll have to fix themselves and what the city is going to contribute.
Going to do anything to help us to prevent the flooding?
Have you been able to get any answers from the city?
No, not really.
We haven't had luck either. We called Converse Mayor Al Suarez and left a voicemail and texted him twice. He read them, but hasn't replied.
If someone from the city was standing where I am right now, what would you tell them?
That we need help.
Help to find more of these pups loving new homes. Danielle Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Family and friends honoring the life of one of the people killed in a shooting and car crash just last week. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identified the 3 as 27-year-old Ariel Martinez, 31-year-old Jonathan Medrano, and 37-year-old Aldrete. Aldrete was sitting by a ditch on the side of the road when he was hit by a car and pinned underneath it after the driver and passenger were shot and killed. His brother John Aldrete tells us it's an unimaginable loss, as Roy was his last living brother.
I said you let him fly. Allow us to mourn this time. Yes. But bring us back to peace.
Surely through every struggle there is relief, and if this is a way to bring people together,
at least there.
at least that's something that I can say that his death wasn't in vain.
SAPD still investigating the shooting and does not currently have any suspects. The family says they just want the person responsible to come forward.
Taking a look outside with live cam, there's that big cloud still sitting right over in the same spot. Well, that's nice.
I know you like to see the shadows. You're like, that's where I want to be.
Some shade.
I want to be in the shadows. Yeah, we're going to see plenty of those over the next several hours, just with the passing clouds here and there. And again, we'll monitor to see if we can't find a few more isolated showers as some of those clouds try to grow a little bit taller. Better chances of finding that going to be southeast of San Antonio. What's going to affect all of us? The heat. Again, 87 right now, but check out the feels like temperature. It already feels like 95. So you can imagine as those actual thermometers start to climb over the next few hours as we get closer to the peak heating time of the day, those feels like temperatures will head for the triple digits. 91 right now in New Braunfels, 91 as well over in Carrizo Springs, 86 in Kerrville, 88 in Rock Springs. Later on this afternoon, high temperature is going to be pretty similar to what we saw yesterday. Again, that forecast high around 96 here in the Alamo City. Del Rio out west going to be close to 100 degrees. Looking ahead to the next several days, it's more of the same here in town. Partly cloudy skies, just a 10% chance for a stray shower, mid-90s, but feeling even hotter with all of the humidity still in the works. We'll get you another look at that extended forecast coming up in just a few.
That's some pretty powerful video. Video from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. It shows just how destructive illegal fireworks can be.
However, even your everyday sparklers can pose a hazard. And that's because sparklers burn at temperatures of about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to melt metal. So even when they burn out, they can still pose a fire risk if they are not thrown away properly.
That's the focus of a local campaign ahead of the 4th of July. Tiffany Huerta shows us how you can prevent accidents or property damage and enjoy this 4th of July.
To ensure a safe 4th of July, the Bexar County Fire Marshal's Office is offering safety tips and introducing a new program. Bexar County firefighters demonstrated how the Designate a Dowser program works.
We want someone to be a designated dowser. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's an adult sibling, brother, sister, somebody that's there that can have adequate water supply.
Make sure you have a water hose or bucket ready. Fill it halfway with water. Let fireworks cool for 10 minutes. Then drop them in the bucket.
Allow the fireworks enough time to be submerged and to get cooled down before we go ahead and dispose of those fireworks.
Last year, there were 49 firework-related emergency calls in unincorporated Bexar County. 13 incidents were related to improper disposal of fireworks.
Grown-ups should be the ones handling fireworks, guys. I know that we want to, it's a kids' holiday, they say, but the reality of it is it's too dangerous for children, okay? Make sure that if you're out there and your kids are utilizing fireworks, they have supervision, adult supervision.
Also, never relight a dud firework. If a firework does not work properly, wait 15 to 20 minutes and then soak it in a bucket of water and dispose of it properly. If you want to learn more about these safety tips or about this new program, visit KSAT.com. Reporting from Bexar County from Fire Station 124, Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, so we're talking about how important it is to be careful when you're using the fireworks, but not just when you're using them, but also when you happen to be throwing them away.
All right, so here are some more very important safety tips, like one firework at a time. That's hard to do. And then you got to move back quickly. Never place a part of your body directly over a fireworks device when you're lighting the fuse.
Obviously, you want to move to a safe distance immediately after you light those fireworks, and you never point or throw a firework, including sparklers, at anyone.
It's no joke. And if you want to see more Fireworks this 4th of July in a safe way. The safest bet is to go to a professional show. Right now on KSAT.com, we have a list of the events in the San Antonio area. Parks and suburbs have all planned, and many of them include fireworks displays. If you want to see that QR code, all you do is have to click on the QR code at the bottom of the screen. That's going to take you right to this page on our website. Not every event is listed here that is free, so we do have links to show you where you can also get tickets.
So the 4th of July is still next month, only a week away though, but also on our website, Pride Month is winding down in June. However, there's still plenty of events on the calendar. Scan that QR code and you can get a list of everything going on for the rest of the month in San Antonio and across South Texas. All right, before we get to weather, let's get outside at 90 and Couples. And yes, that is some very slow-moving traffic. You can see all the cones there, which means there's some construction going on over there. Why would they do construction in the middle of the afternoon on a Monday?
Well, it's been like that, I think, even this morning.
So I guess maybe they're not done, or
I don't know. Something to watch.
There's
for
construction
sure.
everywhere.
There is a lot of construction, yes. No really issues in terms of rain or anything like that on the roadways. We will monitor for a few isolated showers still that are pushing across our far southeastern counties right now. We had some decent rain last week thanks to Tropical Storm Alberto that was in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. As promised, here is the latest tropical outlook. National Hurricane Center saying that tropical cyclone development is not expected over the next 7 days. Pretty quiet out in the Atlantic Basin and the Gulf of Mexico. By the way, the next two names on the list for this year, Beryl and Chris. So, of course, we'll continue to keep you posted on that in the months ahead. For now, it's just the heat. We'll get you another look at that after the break.
We here in San Antonio are used to the idea of a heat dome in the summertime, but about 60 million people coast to coast who are being warned of one that's expanding are not ready. That heat is fueling heavy rain in the Midwest and flooding as well. And this is just the first week of summer. ABC's Melissa Adon in Minnesota with how people are dealing with the high temps there.
Dangerous heat from coast to coast, with temperatures hitting the triple digits in some places. In Baltimore, participants trying to enjoy one of the largest African-American cultural festivals on the hottest June day there in over a decade. New York City with its first heat wave of the year, 4 days in a row of 90 degrees or more. And Washington, D.C., yesterday tying its daily record high of 98 degrees. The low temperature just 81.
It's very hot. It's too hot.
No escape in the middle of the country either. Temperatures in the triple digits in central Oklahoma.
It's pretty oppressive out here right now. It's super scorcher, and we're glad we're doing an event at the pool today.
That heat fueling torrential rainstorms in the Midwest. A state of emergency declared in Iowa after floodwaters forced evacuations in part of the state.
The devastation is severe and it's widespread. Additionally, the 7-day forecast calls for more rain, which means flooding could continue to be an issue and may even impact other parts of the state as well.
Minnesota's governor calling in the National Guard.
Here in southern Minnesota, these floodings have been catastrophic for so many communities. For instance, here in Waterville, Minnesota, this neighborhood here totally flooded. The residents here have been evacuated. They've been told it'll take them at least a week for that chance for them to return home.
And in South Dakota, the state's largest city, Sioux Falls, had more than 7 inches of rain in 3 days. In southern Wisconsin, at least 4 EF1 tornadoes ripped through trees and buildings on Saturday.
There's a lot of damage in Williams Bay here. There's quite a bit of tree damage. A lot of that is straight line winds, which were likely 80 miles per hour or higher.
Forecasters are expecting the extreme heat to last until at least the 4th of July. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Waterville, Minnesota.
All right, so then maybe just regular old normal heat. It's not so bad when you look at all the destruction they've got going around the country.
We're okay. we're okay here.
Yep, most definitely. And that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be seasonable for this time of year, which just means hot and humid, right? Here in San Antonio and across the region. That heat dome that she was just talking about, that is very much in control of our weather pattern here locally. And this is what that means. Highs consistently reaching for the mid-90s each and every afternoon. And with all of that moisture, it will feel like the triple digits for a few hours in the afternoons as well. And yes, if you stray afternoon showers possible, especially as the sea breeze starts to make its way inland closer to the coast. That's where you'll find the better chances of cashing into a quick shower. But unfortunately, most of us are going to miss out. As we were talking about earlier, it's just not the same weather pattern that we were dealing with last week. Here's the latest look at your authority radar. Pretty quiet here in San Antonio. All of this green that you're seeing near Seguin and Stockdale, that is just radar noise coming out of the radar site near New Braunfels. But we do still have some of those splash and dash showers pushing across portions of Lavaca County. A nice little downpour there just to the east of Hallettsville and Highway 77. A few showers just pushed through the Shiner area there as well. All of this is generally trying to hold together as it makes its way farther up to the north. Cuero out there in DeWitt County. You've seen a few showers near your neck of the woods. It's possible you see a few more over the next few hours into the afternoon. A 10 to 20% potential. Again, better chances are going to be south of I-10 and east of I-37 across the coastal plains. There's that big blue H, the heat dome, the high pressure system that is just going to be the main controlling feature of the weather that we see here at home over the next several days. You can even see it on your futurecast, this rain making energy that's just moving around the center of that high pressure system. So for the most part, it is going to be a drier week here in San Antonio. That 10% chance through Thursday, bumping that up to just a 20% shot as we head into Friday and even into next weekend, with the heat still holding on there as well. And here's a look at that heat into this afternoon. 93 degrees expected by 2 p.m. 96 now the forecast high temperature here in town, feeling closer to 101 to 105. And then we'll start to see those temperatures fall into the 80s if you have any Monday evening plans. 87 by 9 p.m. and 83 by 11. Also, as we were mentioning earlier in the newscast, it's not just us dealing with this heat. You can see those heat advisories stretch across northeastern Texas, across the Red River, into the Central Plains, and even for our friends and neighbors off to the east across parts of the deep south. A few excessive heat warnings mixed in here and there, especially over in Southern California, parts of the Rockies, and near Omaha, Nebraska. And this is the reason why. Forecast high temperatures later on this afternoon. 101 the forecast high in Wichita, 102 in Omaha. So that's even hotter than what we're expected to see here at home. So we'll of course continue to keep you posted on this over the next several days. Generally, what we're expected to find out there today, just expect more of the same over and over and over throughout the remainder of the week. We're going to take a step aside. We'll be right back after the break.
Good evening and welcome to this very special edition of Instant Replay. Tonight, we are taking you back in time. Matter of fact, we're going to go back 40 years. That's when, fortunately, I was able to start here at KSAT 12. So we're going to look back at some of the great times we've had, especially here on Instant Replay. My, oh my, how times have changed. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Instant Replay. It is the way it was meant to be. And for those of you who have been watching Instant Replay for a while, you may remember this. We used to start the show walking down these steps, and the key was to remember what you were going to talk about as far as the show and what we were going to see in that edition of Instant Replay without falling on your face. Whew. Man, 40 years will do it to you.
Look at David Sears. David Sears is beyond disgusting.
This week's Scholar Athlete is Tracy. She's been named to the, oh golly. This week's Scholar Athlete is Tracy Guadalama. Of course, things will get even better in a couple of weeks when the Oilers host the Cowboys in the Alamo Dome.
Your father, former President George Bush, is a fan of the Houston Astros. How does this thing work out?
Well, he'll be a fan of the Rangers when we get in the World Series.
David, I appreciate you taking some time with us and coming back to IR. It's a blast in the past for me as well. And
it's something else, man. I appreciate the invitation to come back. This is always home right here.
What was it like starting Instant Replay from the ground up?
It was an adventure. It was something that, we had talked about doing for several years, and then it became reality. It was kind of strange at the very beginning. We had our bumps and bruises, we had our ups and downs, some, technical difficulties, some things, but we finally got it all ironed out after we started in March of 1993. Okay. And I think by April or May, we were rolling. You were rolling. We set the tone and we set the bar for everybody in town, and we always were right at the top and beyond that. So it's been a great run on Instant Replay, I'm going to tell you that.
When you see these videos running here, doing instant replay stuff in front of the old set like that, what do you think, man?
I think I was young and had hair, and just check out the style. Just check out, the collarless shirt, buttoned up. And
look at you all cool right there leaning,
it was, that was just the technology was just, it looks so old now compared to what we do now, but it was a blast.
So you've interviewed a lot of people over the decades, from George Bush to Shaq and Charles Barkley, but do you have one person that stands above them all?
That's a tough question. That is a tough question, because sports is a mix of entertainers and politicians and athletes. So, there's George W. Bush before he was even governor of the state of Texas and went on to be the president. So, Bob Hope and George Strait and Shaq, and of course all the Spurs throughout all these years, and the Cowboys. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one guy. It really is, or one lady. We got to interview a lot of folks along the way, and it was always fun. Remember a guy named Dennis Rodman?
I do.
Played for the Spurs.
Yep.
Okay, when he came to San Antonio, Greg Simmons, who was doing Instant Replay then, used to always send a limo out to pick up all the guests to make sure that they would actually get here and be live on Instant Replay. They wouldn't take a chance.
Yeah.
So when Dennis Rodman came to town, he made me get in the limo and go to the hotel to make sure Dennis got in the limo. He got in the limo with his girlfriend, and we all came back down to Instant Replay together, and it was one of the strangest rides, as you can very well imagine.
I remember those years with Dennis, and he was dating Madonna for a minute.
For a while. Yeah.
While he was in San Antonio.
Yeah. Remember the Spurs were in Utah, the playoffs. Dennis was suspended. Madonna came to Utah. They got in the limo and drove to Nevada. And instead of worrying about the Spurs, I was worried about what Dennis and Madonna were going to do.
And that made headlines, right?
Oh, yeah. That was just stories. So,
And Shaq never misses an opportunity to pat you on the head from way up above.
Yeah, he always likes to
even
do that.
Today.
So, even today, he would do that. So, and of course, you got to thank the people who've been watching all these years, because we wouldn't have been able to do that if they hadn't been along for the ride. And it was, I've said it before, it was a ride. It was an incredible ride.
So you interviewed George Bush when he was the owner.
Just the owner of the race, before he was even governor.
Right. I interviewed him later when he was governor, on the 2 seconds before he announced for president.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
So that was fun. At the time, we didn't know he was going to be governor. We had an idea he was running for governor, but just to sit down with some of these, I know a lot of people don't remember who Bob Hope is.
Right.
But when we were growing up, he was like,
that was a big deal.
Mr.
Tommy
Entertainer.
Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda. I was like, we could go on and on and on.
I remember when he came in for the Spurs championship playoffs.
Because the missions were actually the Dodgers at one point. So
I remember that. Hey, David, the one time we've worked together, obviously many years, but when we were out at the airport for the Spurs arrival after one of their championships, and I got to work with you, and boy, nobody can ad-lib like you can when it comes to all those sports. So that was an honor doing that.
So. It's a chatterbox.
That was a great
and I love
day,
the 12-pin in the video, too.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. All right, a lot going on the show today, and our good friend Miles Donnelly from La Frite is here, one of the greatest restaurants in town, Belgian restaurant. Cooking duck, right? A lot of people think it's too fatty. What's the secret?
You gotta make sure you score it to help loosen up that fat, and you have to make sure you start rendering the fat. Dry pan, don't worry about it. Just let it go and let it start rocking.
Great muscles there, great for a date night. All right, want a nice little coffee drink to keep you cool in the summertime? Yeah. Our dear friend Jada Rashawn Pickett is here, and your secret to a good coffee drink is?
Take your ice cubes and pour coffee, concentrate in it. Don't pour water in the ice. Don't make ice out of water. Make ice out of coffee.
So the coffee doesn't lose all of its potency.
Exactly. So you see it's melting right now, but it's
and some of the flavors you are not going to believe. She hadn't even tried them yet. So, all right, another way to stay cool and healthy is with a smoothie, and Caitlin Ogletree is here. And you always think of a good fruit smoothie. You've got a trick to keep it creamy, right?
Yes, I love to use frozen vegetables.
All right.
And especially cauliflower, because that's a white one and it hides in there very well.
The secret vegetable in a smoothie. That and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live. Stick around.